हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। तो पेंटिंग के साथ साथ हमें आर्टिस्ट के बारे में भी जानना चाहिए, तो इसलिए मेरा एक छोटा सा कोशिश, हम इस सीरीज़ में हम विंसेंट वैन गॉग की कुछ पेंटिंग के बारे में जानेंगे। मास्टर ऑफ आर्ट विंसेंट वैन गॉग। Vincent van Gogh was born at Markt 29 in Zundert, Netherlands. The flag marks the room in which he was born. The house no longer stands. Zundert today. Van Gogh when he was aged 13. And a little story about his. In spring 1886, Vincent arrived in the art capital of Paris and moved in with his brother Theo. He went to Fine Arts Common Art School, where he became acquainted with Henri de Toulouse, Lautrec, and later Emily Bernard, who remained a lifelong friend. In June, Vincent and Theo moved to the district of Montmartre, where Vincent set up a studio. Due to Theo's position in art business, Vincent met the Impressionists, whom he learned to appreciate gradually. He made friends with Paul Gauguin, painting with him in the open air. The mass of impressions of the city and the constant talk of art had a deep influence on Vincent van Gogh, and his long years of training helped him to emerge as one of the most important artists in modern art. In this section, a sample of some of Van Gogh's most celebrated works are provided, with concise introductions, facial detail reproduction, and additional biographical image. I tell still life with cabbage and clocks. This painting was completed while Van Gogh was living in the Hajj in December 1881. It is currently located at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam and depicts everyday belongings that are typical of other still life of subjects in Van Gogh's early works. The earthy dark colors are also characteristic of this period. After settling in the Hajj, the Van Gogh called his cousin-in-law, the painter Anton Mauve, who introduced him to painting in both oil and watercolor. She also lent him the money to set up a studio. Nevertheless, the two soon fell out, possibly over a disagreement about drawing from plaster cast, and Mauve appears to have suddenly grown cold towards Van Gogh, choosing not to return a number of his letters. The young artist supposed his relative did not approve of his domestic agreement with an alcoholic prostitute, Klasina Maria Seen Hornick, and her young daughter. Here you see the painting and detailing. Self-portrait with straw hat. This painting was completed in summer of 1887 and is now housed in the Detroit Institution of Art. These dozens of self-portraits by Van Gogh are an important part of his oeuvre, charting a vast range of emotion throughout the artist's short life. As in all the self-portraits, this painting depicts Van Gogh's face as it appeared in the mirror. This work is particularly lurid in its choice of colors, with a vibrant blue uncharacterized of Van Gogh's other works in this genre. The artist portrays one eye in shadow while he peers at the viewer with a searching gaze, at one time suggesting suspicion and at another curiosity. The self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh. Wow. Here we come another painting, The White Orchid. In the spring of 1888, while staying in Arles, southern France, Van Gogh created a series of paintings now known as the Flowering Orchids. The artist arrived in Arles in February 1888 amid a snowstorm. But within 2 weeks, the weather had changed and the fruit trees were in blossom. Appreciating the symbolism of rebirth, Van Gogh worked with zeal and 14 paintings of flowering trees in the early spring. In spring, he completed the White Orchid, which now hangs in the Van Gogh's Museum in Amsterdam. Van Gogh wrote at the time in a letter to his brother Theo, "I'm working on the plum trees, yellowish white with thousands of black branches." 2 days later, he wrote of the same painting, "This morning I worked on an orchard of plum trees in bloom. At once a fierce wind sprang up, an effect I had seen nowhere else but here, and I returned in intervals. The sun shone in between, and all the little white flowers sparkled. It was so lovely. My friend the Dane came to join me, and I went on painting at the risk and peril of seeing the whole snow on the ground at any moment. It's a white effect with a good deal of yellow in it, and blue and lilac, and the sky white and blue." Here comes the painting. The White Orchid. Wow. Another painting, Portrait of the Postman, Joseph Rowling. Van Gogh painted the family of postman Joseph Rowling in the winter of 1888. The family included Joseph Rowling, the postman, his wife Augustine, and their 3 children. Van Gogh described the family as really French, even if they look like Russians. Over the course of just a few weeks, he painted Augustine and the children several times. Van Gogh used color for dramatic effect. Each family member's clothes are portrayed in bold primary colors, and Van Gogh used contrasting colors in background to intensify the impact of the work. Completed in 1880, this painting is housed in Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. It depicts Joseph, the father of the family, who was born on 4th April 1841 in Lemsbeth. Van Gogh and the postman became good friends and drinking companions. Van Gogh compared Rowling to Socrates as on many occasions. In appearance, Rowling remained the painter of Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky, who had the same broad forehead, nose, and shape of beard. Here comes the painting. Contrasting background. to intensify the picture. Wow. हेलो गाइस, तो इस सीरीज़ में मेरा यही मोटिव है कि आपको कुछ आर्टिस्ट के बारे में बताऊंगा और उसकी पेंटिंग करने की टेक्निक के बारे में थोड़ा बताऊंगा। और भी बहुत सारे विंसेंट वैन गॉग की पेंटिंग हैं जो मैं आने वाले कुछ एपिसोड्स में बताऊंगा। और इस चैनल पे आपको बीच बीच में पेंटिंग्स के वीडियो भी मिलते रहेंगे, तो सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कर लेना चैनल को। और वीडियो अगर थोड़ा सा भी पसंद आए तो एक लाइक ज़रूर कर देना, और कमेंट में कोई सुझाव है तो ज़रूर बताना। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग। मिलते हैं इसी के नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में, तब तक के लिए बाय।